Breaking news! Detroit Lions fans, you won't believe what just came out of the mouth of one of our biggest rivals. This is a coach who has felt the full force of what this Lions team has become. A coach whose own team has been dominated in back-to-back games. What he said on national television is shaking up the narrative of the NFC North. And maybe, just maybe, it's a sign of the new order of power in the division. But before we go any further, be sure to like this if you're a true Lions fan. It's always great to see fans of all ages cheering for this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Lions." There's no stopping us in 2025. Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers, yes, that Green Bay, was asked during an interview if the Lions-Packers rivalry has surpassed the legendary Packers-Bears rivalry. And instead of the usual coaching spiel, he offered something rare, sincere admiration. He didn't just dodge the question. He embraced it. LaFleur, a Michigan native who grew up in the Barry Sanders era, has openly called the Detroit Lions the class of the NFC. Let that be clear. The coach of a division rival is publicly admitting that the Detroit Lions are on top. Not the Packers, not the Eagles, not even the defending NFC champions. The Detroit Lions. And that's not just lip service. LaFleur knows what he's talking about. He referenced Detroit's recent success at Lambeau Field, acknowledging that the Lions have beaten the Packers 3 straight times in Green Bay, a place once considered a graveyard for visiting teams. He went on to say that facing the Lions in the season opener feels like a playoff game. That's not an exaggeration. It's respect, and it's recognition of what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have built in Detroit. This isn't about friendly compliments. This is about a seismic shift in the power dynamic of the NFC North. For decades, the Packers-Bears rivalry reigned supreme. The Lions were the afterthought, but not anymore. Not when a rival head coach openly concedes that Detroit is the benchmark. And here's what's even more fascinating. LaFleur, despite being the face of the Green Bay Packers, can't help but show reverence for what Detroit is doing. Maybe it's that Michigan connection. Maybe it's just an honest football mind giving credit where it's due. And let's not forget, he pointed out something deeper. LaFleur noted that Detroit didn't try to ban the tush-push like so many other NFL teams did this offseason. Teams across the league were desperate to eliminate the play that the Eagles had perfected. But Detroit, they stood firm. They voted to keep it. Why? Grit, confidence. Because this team knows it can compete with any scheme, any play, any opponent. That decision alone sent a powerful message. The Lions aren't afraid. They're not looking for excuses or rule changes to help them. They'll beat you straight up. Now, let's talk roster. Because when we break this team down, position by position, the case LaFleur made only gets stronger. Start with the offensive line, arguably the best in the NFL. With Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell anchoring the tackle spots and Frank Ragnow at center, there's no more dominant front. Add in the new young talent at guard and suddenly, this is a unit with both power and depth. At wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to produce like a top-tier WR1, often overlooked in favor of flashier names like Justin Jefferson or C.D. Lamb. But the numbers don't lie. He's elite. And opposite him, Jameson Williams is coming off a 1,000-yard season, making Detroit's receiver duo one of the most dangerous in the league. Then there's Sam Laporta at tight end, already a top-5 talent at the position and just scratching the surface. In the backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs is in the conversation with the absolute best, McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry. This isn't hyperbole. These are facts backed by production. And we haven't even hit defense yet. Aiden Hutchinson was sprinting toward Defensive Player of the Year honors before injury slowed him down. Alam McNeil is a top-5 interior defensive lineman. DJ Reader is a run-stopping monster. Tyreek Williams adds even more explosiveness. That line is nasty. Linebackers? Jack Campbell is blossoming. Derek Barnes just got extended. And Alex Anzalone is a reliable starter now. The cornerback group has been fortified with Terrion Arnold and a new addition still to prove himself, while Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph form what might be the best safety tandem in football. Every level of this defense is loaded. So when LaFleur says Detroit is the class of the NFC, he's not wrong. It's not just one good unit. It's not one hot season. It's the full package: offense, defense, special teams, coaching, front office, ownership. And yes, LaFleur even gave a nod to the leadership of Sheila Hamp, who has helped turn this franchise into something sustainable. Because that's the challenge now, isn't it? For years, Detroit was the underdog. The team with heart, grit, and potential, but never quite enough to get over the hump. But now, the narrative has flipped. This isn't a team fighting to prove it belongs. This is a team that others are measuring themselves against. That respect comes with expectations, and those expectations bring pressure. Let's be real, everything that's been built over the last last 3 seasons has led to this moment. A franchise reborn under Dan Campbell's leadership. A front office that drafts smart, develops talent, and refuses to compromise on culture. A locker room full of players who were once overlooked or doubted. Players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's outperformed stars drafted before him. Or Jared Goff, who's risen from being written off by the Rams to becoming a top 10 quarterback in the NFL again. So how does Detroit stay elite? It starts with the mentality that's been drilled into this roster. Don't get comfortable. Don't fall in love with the headlines. That's the trap. Respect from Matt LaFleur or any other coach is great, but it doesn't mean anything in January if you're not holding a trophy. One of the most important details LaFleur mentioned, and something most fans may have glossed over, is that opening night matchup at Lambeau. He described it like a playoff game. That's not coach speak. That's a subtle warning. Green Bay is circling that date. They want to reclaim ground. They know Detroit has beaten them 3 straight times on their home turf, and they know that a statement win in week 1 could be the first crack in the Lions' armor. And that's where we see what this team is really made of, because the great ones don't just win, they respond, they adapt, they evolve. It's no longer about chasing the Packers. It's about staying ahead of them, and the Bears, and the Vikings, and the Eagles, and whoever else wants to try and knock them off. The Lions are now the hunted. Every team on the schedule this year will bring their best shot. No more surprises. No more easy games. Detroit will see top-tier defenses trying to rattle Goff, exotic blitzes trying to slow Gibbs, and double teams on Hutchinson every single week. That's the cost of being the standard. But here's the good news. This team is built for that kind of fight. It's not just about having star players. It's about development. Look at Jack Campbell, from a tentative rookie to a more confident, explosive linebacker. Look at Sam Laporta, who stepped in and immediately looked like he belonged. Look at Jameson Williams, who went from questions about availability to back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. This staff knows how to get the most out of its players. And let's not forget the continuity. The same coaching staff that led this team to the NFC Championship game is back. Ben Johnson didn't take the first head coaching job that came his way. Aaron Glenn is still running the defense. That kind of stability is rare in the NFL, and it means the Lions can focus on refining, not rebuilding. But maybe the biggest question this season isn't about talent or matchups. It's about mindset. Can the Lions maintain the same hunger they had when they were climbing? Can they treat every snap, every game, like they're still chasing something, even though everyone else is now chasing them? The margin for error is razor thin at the top. Injuries happen. Refs blow calls. A tip pass here or a missed tackle there can change a season. That's why teams like Kansas City and Baltimore have stayed elite, not because they're perfect, but because they're relentless. The Lions have the tools. They have the coaching. They have the players. They even have the respect of the league. Now they need to prove they can handle the weight of expectation. So, what do you think, Lions fans? How do we keep this momentum alive? Do you believe this team is ready to carry that crown and defend it for an entire season? Let me know in the comments, can the Lions hold the throne as the class of the NFC in 2025? And if you're loving this type of content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the videos we've got lined up right here on the screen. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Go Lions!